Hey, everybody, we're back. I have press-ganged Pelham into helping me out. He's been voluntold. He will be here as presence. Hi, Pelham.
Hey, Greg.
How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good. You very excited to, co-host the Dragon Talks?
My favorite podcast. So fun to finally be on.
The one that you have to listen to every single time.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. How are you guys doing in the Twitch land? I haven't been checking on chat at all this whole time. So how are you these fine days?
How you doing, chat?
How are you, chat? Do you exist? Are you there? Oh no, they're all just screaming about dice camera action and all of the stuff we now know.
Yeah, some big reveals dropped by Chris Perkins there. That's gonna get interesting.
Yeah. So what do you think about all that? Just real quick as I take a picture of us.
It definitely fits all in. I mean, they went to Planescape, Sigil. They met up with some automatons that were after Strix there. So yeah, I can definitely see this happening.
It's going to be a thing.
Terrifying times, yeah.
It's going to be a thing.
Stalked through the streets of Waterdeep by a Merit.
Yeah, and Chris's description of the Marut. You gotta have to trill the R a little bit. Sounds pretty bad.
It does.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to do anything against the Marut.
No, automatically hits on every hit. Yeah, that's going to be a nightmare.
It is going to be really bad. I'm just going to say I'm excited to talk to you because we never get to talk anymore.
We don't. I feel like we did nothing but talk leading up to the stream Many Eyes, but
it's true.
It's been a couple weeks now.
It's been a while, but now we get to do it here live on the Twitches.
Doing it live.
And I don't know if Shelly is even checking her Twitter, but I keep making sure she knows that I'm angry with her. I'm going to say new Dragon Talk hosts unlocked. Replaced. Oh, is that I can do that as a hashtag.
Hashtag replaced.
Host auditions are go.
Oh, this is an audition. I thought this was a done deal. Get me on camera and then tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true,
great.
right?
That's great.
What do you think about exposure?
I like getting paid in it.
It is the best. I like that I'm using hashtag replaced along with hashtag WotC staff.
HR is definitely not going to have problems with that.
That's true. It's a good thing they're not here. Hi, everybody. You've caught up with us. Thanks, Reeve. How are you doing, man? Hey, how did Rivals of Waterdeep go? I watched a little bit of it. It seemed like you guys were having tons of fun. So
heard some really good things. Saw some great fan art come out already.
I know.
From yesterday's session.
Isn't that the greatest thing where you can be like, hey, here's this streaming group, and then like fan art immediately starts showing up for it.
So great.
You are a wonderful D&D community who does that. And if there's not more fan art of Pelham and his flowery shirt today, then I'm going to be also very upset. And I will put you on watch on the Twitters.
Make sure you tag me.
Exactly. Make it happen. So we're going to record our fun little intros here for 2 episodes of Dragon Talk. Sometimes we do those in front of you guys, and sometimes we don't. But Shelly is out. She's recovering from having fun at the Origins Games Fair in Columbus, Ohio, the most recent weekend. And we were just talking over. We have no other time to record this, so we're going to make it happen right now, live in front of y'all as we go through and talk about what's been happening in the world. You all ready?
Oh man, I'm so ready.
Y'all ready for this? Burner. All right.
I actually heard the clicks. I never heard the clicks.
You heard the clicks?
First time I've ever heard the clicks.
Oh, that means you've made it.
We're really doing it.
Replaced. Hashtag replaced.
We're really doing it.
One day we'll have like
the
guests.
talk back and everything now. This is crazy.
I know, right?
I feel like a real boy.
Many people didn't know that you really existed. They thought you were a construct.
Just a figment, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
you were Simon.
I'm real. Here every week, guys.
You were the real Murderbot that everyone needs to know about. All right, so what are we going to talk about?
What are we talking about?
Everything, all the things. This episode that we just recorded is going out on Thursday, so it's anything very current as of today, right? And then we can actually say I'm doing this out loud so that you guys know, and it's on the recording. So thanks for recording it. What the Laurie Chanel is going to be, which is going to be the Marut itself.
Marut.
Excellent. All right, you ready?
Still recording, Greg.
Good job. Are you ready, Pelham?
Yeah, we're doing an intro?
I'm going to do the intro.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I don't
Let's
know
do
how
it.
this
Yeah.
is going to go,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
going to be fun,
yeah,
no matter what.
It'd be good to time travel with you.
All right. Welcome to Dragon Talk, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Tito. I am your host, and I'm joined as always, by my co-host, Pelham Green.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
Good.
We have our sans Shelly today. Shelly Mazanoble was in Origins, working very hard on introducing Axis and Allies and Zombies to as many, shall we call them, patient zeros as we possibly can.
I love it.
They're going to spread it out over the word. But yeah, she's not in today, but we just need to get this down, and we're going to talk about all the fun stuff. So, hi, Pelham.
Hi, Greg.
Welcome.
Shelly didn't come into work, so I replaced her on the podcast.
That's right.
That's what you get.
That's what happens. Yeah, it's better than a Marut coming for you and killing you dead.
So much better than that.
Yeah, but Pelham and I did a lot of fun stuff leading up to the Stream of Many Eyes. So I want to give you a shout out on the air because you're a
thank
good
you,
person.
Greg. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun to bring Waterdeep to life and make all that craziness happen.
Yeah, Pelham was talking to all of the cosplayers, making sure they had everything they needed, as well as getting them to talk about what character they were going to play.
A lot of cool ideas floating around out there. We
Yeah.
got some elves, we got tieflings, we got orcs, we got humans of all shapes and sizes. It all turned out pretty well, I thought.
That was one of my favorite things over the course of this whole thing. We'd be dealing with like logistics and crazy things leading up to the Stream of Many Eyes, but then Pelham would come in after a meeting and be like, we got 2 more tieflings.
It was great. Yeah, there's
We got an elf.
easiest sales pitch of my life.
I know, right? Everybody was like super jazzed to
Come
do
hang
it.
out in an actual medieval fantasy city.
It's true. We pulled it off. So thank you for all of your work in making that be a thing. It is there. If people can watch it. I hope you're watching all of the recaps from the Stream of Many Eyes. Pelham put them all up on the YouTube page.
They're all on YouTube now. You can watch the entire 3 days worth of live streaming that we did just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and there's been just more and more folks doing that, right? It feels like our YouTube viewership numbers always get this huge boost when we put up a lot of content. You know, who knew?
Who knew?
But I know more and more people who couldn't watch it on the day of, and they've been going through and watching them all now as much as they can, and keep getting comments coming in, like people just talking about how great the Rivals of Waterdeep session was at the Stream of Many Eyes. Deborah Ann Wall is a highlight. My wife doesn't, I wouldn't say she's like, embedded in the fandom of D&D, but she was there in the studio watching Deborah Ann Wall Dungeon Master live, and she's still talking about it to this day.
Oh,
like, I'll come home and she's like, oh man, I was thinking about that story again, right? And the hags, what are they going to do? And
We'll never know.
Maybe we will, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
get her back in to find out.
designed as a one-shot, but maybe it could be a
two-shot?
a part B, at least. Yeah.
Multi-parter, yeah. Get Deborah on the line. We'll make it happen.
All right, we'll con you up. And we're putting her on watch too. This is your audition to try to replace Deborah Ann Wall
And
for the
Shelley,
dungeon
wow.
mastering
Okay.
for that. No, not at all, because she was irreplaceable, and it was fantastic. So thank you. We introduced 2 new products that are coming down the Dungeons & Dragons pipe. Waterdeep Dragon Heist is coming out everywhere on September 18th. That means you'll be able to get it in game stores on September 7th. Is an urban adventure where you can need to use your wits and your diplomacy and your stealth and all of these other non-combat ways to get around and figure out what's happening in the city of Waterdeep and who is vying for this huge treasure that is buried beneath it and exactly how to find it. So all of the content in the Stream of Many Eyes was all geared towards those kind of fun puzzle solving type things. Obviously there will still be combat. You'll still have to fight stuff. But I love that this is an adventure that focuses on non-combat resolutions and role play and storytelling. So this is coming out soon. It also kind of works as a gazetteer for all of Waterdeep.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, all the different gangs and factions running around, with their own motivations and goals. Yeah, it'll be great to see how all that kind of shakes out and people interact with that.
Yeah. So even if you're not going to use, the storyline within it, you can still use it as like, oh, this is a detailed fantasy city and how to run urban adventures and all that stuff. So a lot of great content within there. And then, of course, we talked about Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which comes out in November. November 13th is the wide release. That means you'll be able to get it on November 2nd. I'm doing math here. I'm deleting 11 days from the wide release because that's when the game store's release comes out. But you'll be able to get it there. That details Undermountain, the mega dungeon below the city of Waterdeep. It is the domain of Halaster, the Mad Mage himself. He's trapped there, stays there of his own volition. It's hard to say, really. Maybe we'll find out throughout the course of the story.
He's a crazy, eccentric guy. It's hard to put a pin on exactly what Halaster's thinking, I think.
It's true, right? And he doesn't even know what he's thinking from one moment to the next. But each level of this mega dungeon is worthy of its own, dungeoneer in of itself. And they all have these different characters that interact. Some of them go between levels, but each of them feel like you're entering this new crazy domain. And there's lots of, what is the fact about Dungeons of the Mad Mage is that there's a lot of areas that are not defined. There's tons that is defined, but there's a lot of areas that you could, as a dungeon master, add your own stuff to it.
I've heard there might be some tools to help with the creation of those extra pieces in there.
I like that too. So it's not just, the dungeon that we're putting out there. It's the dungeon that you're going to create with your group, So really paying it forward there. I love it. So those are coming out. We're really excited about them. There will always be more and interesting, fun stuff coming out. In fact, we're working on some more announcements very soon. It's crazy. We just had this big announcement event, but there are even more coming that I can only hint at.
Always got more in the pipeline.
I know. I'm like, what do I want to hint with? But I'm going to say
I'm leaving this to you.
Bananas.
Bananas.
No, I don't even know if that's a good hint or not, but maybe you'll find it out. I don't know. Go sleuth. Sleuth away. Speaking of sleuthing, for those of you who are looking for Dice Camera Action in podcast form, there is a feed that is just dedicated to you and your wants and needs. It is called Dice Camera Action. You can find it.
Really original.
All right. It's on iTunes. I believe also available on Google Play now. We split all of those episodes away from the Dungeon Delve feed, which is where they were going to. We're keeping Dungeon Delve as a repository for all Dungeons & Dragons content that is in audio form and that is not Dice Camera Action. We know everybody would love to be continuing to get each one of the episodes of Dice Camera Action on its own feed, and so we're like, oh yeah, here it is. You can have it. Not all of them are up there. I just want to give you a warning. Episodes 1 through 30 are, though. So if you want to find out where the Waffle Crew started, how they got their name as the Waffle Crew, go listen to those episodes. They were remastered by Mr. Ryan Marth, and they are amazing. We have all 61 episodes, episode 61 up until now, which are current and good to go. And we will be working on getting the middle season. I believe it's Storm King's Thunder.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah,
we're missing season 2.
Most of Storm King's Thunder are not yet up there, but that'll be the next batch that we add to that feed. So go check it out. Again, it's on iTunes, Google Play, pretty much everywhere you get podcasts. You can find that now. We also, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there is a wiki for Dice Camera Action put together by Sean McGovern from PowerScore RPG. It's fantastic. It goes through each episode. It does a recap of what happens in the episode and has little tidbits and lore when things from previous episodes are callback and all that stuff. So if you're confused, you don't know exactly what's happening with Dice Camera Action, or if you just want to level up in your knowledge skill on DCA, go check out the wiki. It is amazing.
Great repository of information. Sean has just done a phenomenal job of collecting all of the various lore that the Dice Camera Action crew has come up with over the last few years now.
Yeah, and it's just getting more and more. There's more like it's like a tapestry. It just keeps getting, once you pull on a thread, you just keep going down the whole
rabbit hole.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of fun, and we're because it's a wiki, it can be completely edited and changed, and more things added to it. So we will continue to update it, or rather, Sean will continue to update it and make it more useful. So if you have any comments or ways to get that to improve, make sure you give us shouts out on Twitter or anything like that. Or even if you have hey, this fact was not in there for some reason, we can get it in there and make it be a part of the official wiki. So thank you. Go check that out. We're also looking at ways to use Dice Camera Action action fan art, maybe on the wiki itself, but in other ways in the show too. So more news coming about that soon. Dragon Plus is out now. Issue number 20. Tons of previews for Waterdeep Dragon Heist and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Go download it on your Android device, on your Apple device, and on the web at dragonmag.com. Bart Cale does a fantastic job putting all that stuff together, and this one is no different. As I said, lots of content about the next adventures that are coming up, interviews from the Stream of Many Eyes, as well as a preview of the Adventure Zone comic. Here There Be Goblins. And
Gerblins.
Gerblins, I'm sorry. Yes, you must pronounce it with the Gerblins. Yes. Gerblins, very important. As well as a playable adventure by Griffin McElroy, the Dungeon Master of the Adventure Zone. So that's all in Dragon Plus. That's only where you can get it. So go check it out.
Pretty fantastic. You can get some character sheets for Magnus and Merle and Taco from the Adventure Zone, as well as some other NPCs from that wonderful podcast. So they're all in the adventure as well.
Are you a fan of the Adventure Zone?
You know, I got really into it over the weekend.
Yeah?
I listened to probably the first 20 or 25 episodes. Yeah, just super
Whoa,
deep into it.
it's really good. Binge. That's a lot.
Yeah, binging podcast. But yeah, you get a lot of stuff done when you binge podcast.
Yeah.
Just have it on in the background. And
that's cool. You were like working out and doing some lawn work.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yep, tell your listeners I work out. That's good.
Yeah, right. That's why he's so buff. Excellent. Cool. And then, I've opened up the D&D Pride shirt. You can purchase it now again. It was open for about 22 days in May, trying to gear up for Pride Month. I was just at Origins. There was the awesome Gay Pride Parade on that Saturday there, and I saw more than a few D&D T-shirts on display, so that was super cool. Of course, it was during Origins, so that makes a lot of sense. But you can now get yours, and there's a bunch of different styles of shirt that you can get. There's a tank top. There's a couple of other different styles.
T-shirt, hoodie.
Go check it out now. All of the sales help support the Lambert House, which supports LGBTQ youth. And you have until Sunday, July 1st to get it out. We have sold more than 5,638 shirts with more than $74,000 going to the Lambert House. So we've been blown away by the amount of support that everyone has put out there. And hopefully the folks who didn't get them the last time around are able to get them and have a cool new tank top to wear at your Pride Parade of choice or just in your game. I think it's awesome. So go ahead and check that out, and we'll let you guys know about more times that those open up. Cool beans. Oh, you can also get a magic version.
That's true.
Yeah, with the Planeswalker symbol. Not, it's really cool. You should check it out. All right. Well, there is a new module coming out for Neverwinter. It is called Ravenloft. It is going back into the vampire land. You can check it out on PC on June 26th at playneverwinter.com. You can probably find out more with the trailer that they released right before the Stream of Many Eyes. It looks super cool. I love that they're jumping into the kind of Curse of Strahd land of storytelling. I think that adventure has a special place in Chris Perkins' heart, of course, because he wrote it, but then also for a lot of fans. And I know people were excited to get into it in the MMO Neverwinter. So it is coming. It's coming to PC on June 26th, which is not that far away. In fact, it is next week.
Like next week, yeah.
It is next week.
Really soon.
It's insane how close that is, but you'll be able to play that and explore through the realm of Barovia. Should be pretty fun.
Should be awesome. I've heard that Strahd's going to be in the actual digitized version of it, which is exciting.
I'm sure he'll be, it won't be that hard to defeat.
Oh, probably not.
No,
he's just a vampire lord.
Not a big deal, right? There is also another fun game coming out called Warriors of Waterdeep. It is available on Android in Canada only right now. So shout out to Canada. What? You guys can play this. It's a free-to-play, like turn-based RPG on iOS and Android. You can get quests from Laeral Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep. Mert the Moneylender is there. He will be able to buy and sell some of your stuff, as well as Durnan. All of the fun stuff that you were introduced to in characters in Waterdeep, as well as our Stream of Many Eyes content, is going to be kind of echoed in Warriors of Waterdeep. So I can't wait for you to check it out on mobile. Like I said, it's open in Canada now, but it will be in other places very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
And it's free to play. Always important.
This is true.
You don't need to jump in, but there's ways. There's more expensive ways to get into the Dungeons & Dragons world, is what I'm trying to say. And why not check out Warriors of Waterdeep? Beetle and Grimm's is doing a fantastic Platinum edition of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I've heard this coming from the video game world. I've heard it a couple times. People have been like, why don't we have collector's editions of Dungeons & Dragons stuff? And we've tried to do that a little bit with the alternate covers for Mordecai's Tome of Foes and Volo's Guide to Monsters and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. But people want more. There's so much more going on. And I think Stream of Many Eyes did a fantastic job of showing how Dungeons & Dragons play can be heightened. You can use props, you can use costumes, you can bring in music and real world kind of things, tactile things to bring your Dungeons & Dragons Imagineering to life. And the Waterdeep Dragon Heist Platinum Edition from Beetle and Grimm's, it does that as well. I mean, they have all these high quality maps. They have miniatures, original artwork, as well as a DM screen and coins, tokens, badges, things that you can hand out to your players that give them a real tactile sense that they're in the fantasy realm that they're traveling through. So I think it's a really neat idea, and it's stuff that I wish I had the time to make on my own. But now I don't have to, because I can pick up this box and get it to my players. Should be pretty fun. You can pre-order that now. It's at beetleandgrims.com. And as a quick note, I am going to be doing a panel at the Ace Universe Comic-Con here in Seattle with Matthew Lillard, as well as Jeremy Crawford, Kate Welch, and Chris Lindsay from the D&D team. We'll be designing a dungeon live on the main stage in front of people and the crowd. Everyone who comes to the Seattle area will be able to call out and give us suggestions, and we'll pick the best ones and create a fun dungeon together.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it should be. It should be
check that out.
Every time we've done it, it's gone pretty raucous, pretty immediately.
I'm sure.
As soon as you get any kind of crowd yelling out stuff, but I think people just really dig the back and forth.
This might be some good practice to start thinking about dungeons for Undermountain.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing. We have all these categories. This is what we're going to do in the panel. We have all these categories of the dungeon, dungeon theme, and bad guys, and then worse bad guys, lieutenant bad guys, and then the big bad guy, and all that stuff. So we're
that's gonna be awesome,
right? And so we'll pick all of those and then stream it together into some kind of storyline. Last time I did this, or actually no, I don't know if it's last time, but there was basically ended up in a Chuck E. Cheese in New Jersey, and Rick Santorum was the big bad guy.
Fun. That's appropriate.
It went there. It was pretty fun. All right, cool. Well, I think that's about all of the fun stuff we're going to talk about for this podcast. I'm going to throw it to an amazing segment, which we just recorded on the Marut. That's right. Chris Perkins tells us all about these planar entities, and watch out, Dice Camera Action fans, because it might have something to do with what's happening next. But let's do some bings and bongs.
Bing bong? I don't know how that
works. They keep getting longer and longer. I'm sorry, Ryan. So this is the midtro.
Midtro.
Yes, between that segment and the interview.
Okay.
These can be pretty short, so let's do it. You ready?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Oh, man, that was a really good segment. Do you think that Chris is going to use the Marut this session or next session?
I cannot wait to see that come out.
I kind of want them to fight against it and then all get Perished.
Into the campaign?
Yes, that's it.
On the Marut. I like it.
Foreshadowing here on that Laurie Chanel segment.
Yeah, he's going to kill them all.
It's pretty much. Yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, so we got to talk to Elisa Teague and Ivan Van Norman. Oh, my God damn it, I did it again. Where I didn't talk about who was on the interview in that whole intro. Why? It's the whole point of the intro. You talk about it up front, and then you do the other stuff. Oh God, I'm a terrible person. But they're here now, and you can talk to them. So you can listen to that interview. It's going to happen right about now, without Shelly, or me, or Pelham.
Just silence.
Just silence. Can we do that? We're going to do that mid-tro one more time.
Still recording, Greg.
Still recording. All right, good. You guys get to see all the fun magic as it gets put together. You all ready for that?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make some magic.
Oh, God. There's no way to splice in something in that initial intro, is there? That's always the hardest thing in the world to do. Never mind. We're gonna do the mid-tro. Like I said, that was a really good segment. What did you think? Do you think Chris is going to use the Marut early?
I think he is. I think he is raring to go. He's itching to bring it in as soon as possible.
It seemed like he was basically doing research for his next session. And he's like, oh, I can do that for Laurie Chanot now.
Yeah, there's no reason he should know that much about a Marut. Otherwise,
unless
he is going to use that.
He's going to use it to destroy the party. We shall see. Next Dice Camera Action.
It's going to be good.
Everyone should be waiting. We have two awesome guests on our podcast today. Two amazing folks we talked to a lot leading up to the stream of Many Eyes. We have Ivan Van Norman and Elisa Teague, who put together all of the writing and the structure for most of day 2 of the stream of Many Eyes. So all of those 7 sessions, the 3 off-the-table sessions as well as the on-the-table sessions, these were all written by these two amazing people. And we recorded this interview without Shelly, so it'll just be me talking to them. You know, I wish Shelly was there, though. She would have had so many more insightful questions. I didn't want to ask too many leading ones because I was there in the making of it. But she would have been great as an impartial person to kind of get in there. But just imagine her coming up with a question and then answering it, and then that is what is happening. I think that'll make this interview go a lot smoother.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think?
I think
should we record you doing a Shelly impersonation before this?
No. No, we should not.
Good answer. All right, cool. Well, let's just play the interview.
My pigeons.
That was a really fun interview, but I wish Shelly was there.
It's a shame she wasn't.
I know, right?
She shouldn't take days off work ever.
She really shouldn't. Yeah, because there's just so much more that you can get out of it when it's someone who wasn't involved in the planning of something.
Is.
Right?
Yeah, I knew everything about the amazing work that Elisa and Ivan had done, just as well as you had, being involved with them for months and months working on this. But yeah, we'll have to get Shelly back in next time to ask some insightful questions.
That's right. Next time we'll get her in, and we'll do the exact same interview all over again. We'll be like, hey, Shelly, you just answer the questions. Ask the questions.
Just rewatch it. Ask the same questions again. It'll be perfect.
Nothing weird about that.
No, not at all.
No, that's good content. That's what you do. So, Pelham, was there any other questions that you wanted to have answered about the Stream of Many Eyes that you never got answered? No.
Not that I can think of. No.
That is a no.
I know most of the things about the Stream of Many Eyes.
That's true. So we will have to, I don't know. I think we might be putting Stream of Many Eyes to bed. It definitely was an amazing event. There's certainly more content to talk about there, and we'll be talking about all the Waterdeep storylines from Dragon Heist that will be going on the streaming shows going forward. So I hope you guys pay attention to those and get excited for when Waterdeep Dragon Heist comes out. It will be on September 18th, available everywhere. And those of you who have a local game store in your area, it will be on September 7th. So right when the school year starts, you'll be able to devour this adventure and play it with your schoolmates and get straight A's on all of your urban fantasy history courses that you're taking. Is that a course that you can take?
Surely.
Yes.
It was when I was in high school.
Right? You got straight A's.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. We have lots of fun stuff going on the D&D Twitch channel. As I said, Rivals of Waterdeep just had their first session this past Sunday. If you haven't been able to check them out, definitely do. They are an amazing streaming group from Chicago, Illinois. Sunday. And then, of course, we have Dark and Dicey, who just started up a month before, and they do it on Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. The Rivals Waterdeep is 12 noon Central Time, which is actually 10 a.m. Pacific time for the twitch.tv/D&D channel. We will be getting lots more fun stuff heading to the D&D channel coming forward, like Hell's Bells, as well as the return of Girl Scouts Glory. We'll get you guys updated on specific dates for all of those. But yeah, keep your tuned to the Twitch channel for more and fun stuff coming out. Thank you, Pelham, for sitting in here to help me have someone to talk at.
Happy to do it.
You're a good person.
You're a good person.
Do you have any final words for Shelley?
Come back soon. Don't make me do this again, Shelley.
That's a good one. All right, so I think all the rocks are going to fall, and you're all going to die.
There's no
We didn't have our rocks.
There's no rocks. I had nothing to knock over.
We're all still alive.
We're all still alive. Crap, we got to do the other one too, huh? All right, we'll do this one faster.
Hey.
Hi, Twitch people. How are you doing?
Hey, Greg, why don't you just tell people who's on the podcast at the beginning?
Thank you.
That'd be cool.
That's actually a really good reminder. I appreciate your service.
No problem, Greg.
You guys are doing great.
Doing it live.
Oh, thank you, Lauren, for making sure you let us know when all the stuff is going on here. And that I forgot to do our Twitter sign-offs. Thank you for that. Who hosts this thing? It's like amateur hour here today.
I blame Pelham.
That's not the hashtag. You're getting off a brand here, buddy.
Yeah. You're supposed to thank Pelham.
Good job, Pelham.
Yay,
There we
Pelham.
go. That's better.
Are you ready to record yet? God.
I think we
So
are
ready.
I haven't heard any clicks.
I heard the clicks.
You did?
Yeah, a while back.
Shite.
Like a minute ago.
Why didn't you tell me?
Ryan's nodding. Yep.
All right, so all this is recorded for posterity.
Hey, guys, we're still live.
Don't forget to mention the people on the podcast.
Gigs and Z says it's great to see professionals at work.
We're professionals, if
You know what?
if nothing else.
Hey, guys, we're still live.
Still live, still recording. Welcome to Dragon Talk, everybody. I am Greg Tito, and I'm joined by Pelham Green today.
Hi, everybody. I am not your usual co-host.
That's true. Shelley is out. She's probably coughing and or sleeping and or watching Bravo.
God, I would imagine
Potentially all the above.
all of the above. Yeah.
Fading in and out of sleep
Yeah.
while watching Bravo. I think that's pretty much it. She did an awesome job at the Origins Games Fair in Columbus, Ohio. So that is exactly why she's out. She was talking about the Axis and Allies and Zombies game there. I can't wait to get the download from her when she returns.
She brought a tank.
There was
An
a real
actual tank.
A real tank. Yeah, I mean, it was a small
Many
tank, but it
pictures.
was a big
Still a
tank.
More tanks than we have.
I just want to thank everyone here for being on this podcast. We have an amazing two guests for this interview. We actually recorded this interview for this episode a long time ago. I want to say it was the middle of April. And we really loved the return of Wolfgang Bauer, friend of the show, as well as Anna Meyer, who does tons of maps. Gosh, the maps that she brought in for the Greyhawk setting were fantastic, and she's done great work for Wolfgang for all the stuff they do at the Cobalt Press stuff. So can't wait to show you that interview later on in this episode. And apologies if there's any dated references in there. Again, we did record it almost 2 months ago as we were gearing up for Stream of Many Eyes. And I want to thank Wolfgang and Anna for bearing with us for this long, for having such a long delay before their interview went live. But it's pretty exciting. We'll get to it in just a little bit. Time to do a little bit of announcements. What do you think, Pelham?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, you make these D&D news files for us to go through.
Yeah, share them out every week so everyone kind of knows what's going on. Looking at this one right here on your laptop, I can see I am missing quite a bit of information this week.
Yes,
but it's been busy.
The best part about these things is that they're living, breathing documents.
That's true.
That they constantly get added to and
Have room
changed.
to grow.
When's more stuff happening? I do like that it's color coded, so kudos to you for
Like to
putting some
make it
stuff
easy
in
for
red
you.
here.
Yeah. Red means I don't have the correct information. So.
Oh,
yeah,
wait, that's what that means?
that's
I
what
thought
that
it was
means.
read this.
Oh yeah. Just read that right out loud. It's perfect.
I've been doing it all wrong. So it is the red is the core release or the game store release for Waterdeep Dragon Heist. That is the storyline that we introduced at the Stream of Many Eyes, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It is an urban adventure full of deceit, deception. You'll have to use stealth and diplomacy in order to get what you want, and that is getting the treasure of a many large number of gold dragons that is hidden beneath the city and is being searched for by one of 4 villains. Really fun storyline. We talked about it all during the Stream of Many Eyes, so if you're interested in previewing it, watch some of the content from that show. It is available on YouTube. Pelham did a great job getting them all up there.
Well, thank you.
Except for the ones you didn't, and I'm going to yell at you for those later.
Those are the secret episodes, the lost episodes.
That's right. They're all going to be up there
All
eventually.
good shows have a lost episode.
Yeah,
We're just holding them back ahead of time.
It's true. It's true. You guys don't even want to know what happens in the lost episode for the Stream of Many Eyes.
Yeah, we did Monday too. We just didn't tell anybody.
Before the set
didn't
was
stream it.
We didn't. Yeah, before we strike the set, we just recorded an entire dramatic Netflix series that's going to be out soon. You can check out Waterdeep Dragon Heist on September 18th. It's available everywhere. You can get it in game stores on September 7th. Right when school starts for a lot of folks, but I know I'm going to take off that first week of school and just read this book and start playing it right away. It's going to be fantastic. And then we also talked about Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is set and talks all about the dungeon below the city of Waterdeep called Undermountain, the domain of Halaster, Black Cloak, and he's just not right in the head.
He's not.
Yeah.
Something a little bit screwy with Alistair.
Yeah, you might call him insane or mad.
Insane might be too kind of a word.
And he's a wizard, so who knows? He's created this crazy domain, multiple levels, all having their own kind of character and feel to them. And there's a lot of stuff in there for running this mega dungeon below the city of Waterdeep. But there's also lots of stuff that you can make up as Dungeon Master within that story. So I think that's super cool. It's got stuff for, space for creativity for everybody. And I think that's what Dungeons & Dragons is all about. So look for that on November 13th everywhere. And it'll be out on November 2nd in your game store. So that's not that far away, honestly.
Coming at you soon.
Yeah, that's like 5 months away. You'll be able to have Dungeon of the Mad Mage in your hands, and hopefully you'll be able to play with a one of these coins like I constantly now play with whenever we're doing series, right? These remind me so much of Waterdeep, mostly from the game Lords of Waterdeep, where these count for 5 gold pieces in there. It's actually It's nothing more iconic to me than these happening things with the hole in them, and they're really fun to play with.
They're heavy.
So they're very heavy. We gave these out as gifts to all of the streamers who came to the Stream of Many Eyes, so they are rare as well. You'll never know where you might be able to get one. But maybe if you give me a high five on the streets of Seattle, I might just have one in my pocket. I'm going to basically have one in my pocket at all times.
It's likely, yeah.
Yeah, just to give out to you. Here you go.
Greg has had this thing with him everywhere.
You've earned this.
Thank you. I've already got one, but I'll take another.
All right, fine. I'm going to take backs. You guys can check out the Dice Camera Action podcast feed. We split it off from Dungeon Delve. Episodes 1 through 30, as well as 61 up until current are there now. We will continue to add new episodes of Dice Camera Action in audio form to that podcast feed if you want to be able to listen to it that way, and then we'll add season 2, which was all the Storm King's Thunder content in the next few months. But it's a great way to go back and re-listen or reconsume some of the older adventures. You'll hear why they're called the Waffle Crew, or where they first got Waffles, the Owl Bear, or where Simon came from. Those are all detailed in those first 30 episodes, I think, right?
Yeah. I think actually episode 1, within the first maybe 15 or 20 minutes, we get to the naming of the Waffle Crew.
Nice. Yeah.
It's pretty quickly in.
Yeah.
And, it just stuck.
Right. Organic things like that, you just kind of have to go with it, and that's what that crew did, and you can see all of that happen in the first episode. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So at the very least, listen to the first episode, but then you want
just skip the rest.
You want to binge it all after that. Okay. You want to skip the rest. Just skip the rest. Because Pelham didn't start working on that until episode 3, if
That's
I'm correct.
Yeah. We talked about the first 3 episodes in my interview.
Oh,
way
right.
back
So it was
in the
episode
day.
4. Was
episode
probably-
4 technically.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. And then most of the kinks were all ironed out once Pelham got there.
just immediately. Yeah, the show immediately got about better. We fixed it all.
We don't know why, though. We don't understand what changed.
Well, I don't even know.
It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been you. It was totally you. Oh gosh. So Art and Arcana is a visual history of Dungeons and Dragons from 10 Speed Press. It is available for pre-order right now, and it's pretty amazing. We saw an actual copy of it at the Stream of Many Eyes. Did you get to?
It is super cool. It's such a nice book. I cannot wait to get my hands on my own copy.
That's right. If you own a coffee table, you should throw away the coffee table, sell it, get the money to buy Art and Arcana, and then just make that be
Just put that right in front of your couch. And
exactly
call it a day.
at all times.
That's all you need.
Maybe on a pedestal, always
I like it. I
open
like it.
with like ribbons in between it. It is basically like tracking where the art of D&D came from and where it's going to. I mean, there's a lot of modern stuff in there too, including I believe a photo from the Stream of Annihilation, which
no
I think is pretty
kidding.
cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, too late to get it in the Stream of Many Eyes, but at least they're like, all right, this is what D&D is doing now, which I
love that.
think is pretty badass. It's out on October 23rd, and you can pre-order it now though, and it's worthwhile. The authors are fantastic people: Michael Whitwer, Kyle Newman, John Peterson, who has been on the show before, and Sam Whitwer. And we'll definitely, as we get closer to release, be talking to 2 or more of those authors as we get closer. And of course, one of those is Sam Whitwer, Morty Cordy himself. From Dice Camera Action. We got to get him back on as a
Yeah,
guest, too.
we do.
Yeah. I feel like once they get to, if they get to Dungeon of the Mad Mage, because we all know they're actually dying once the Marut gets, yeah, right. Fun stuff all around. I am going to cut this short, though, because I want to make sure we give all of the time we can to Wolfgang Bauer and Anna Meyer. But they are an amazing duo of D&D creators. Wolfgang, of course, has been on the podcast many times, but I can't wait for you to talk to or listen to the conversation with Anna about maps, because I totally geeked out with her about it. It's good stuff. Before we do that interview segment, though, we are going to get to this lore you should know that we recorded with Chris Perkins.
I think I heard you where you're going with that. I'm not gonna finish that one.
I'm not going to finish that thought, or that flub rather. I'm not going to finish that flub, and I hope I don't flub like this when I create a planar contract, because it is,
It'd be bad news bears.
It would be bad news bears. Yeah, a lot of bad things would happen.
Use precise language in those planar contracts.
Exactly. You can't flub, or all of a sudden you'll be talking to Piss Quirkins, which is terrible. All right. I'm going to have some bings and bongs happen so I can stop talking. Midtro. So what do you think? Do you think you want to enter into a contract with the devil or a Bugoloth or anything like that pretty soon?
Maybe a low level one. It seems like a pretty good deal to start out with, but just kind of have to watch yourself and temper, escalating those contracts and seeing how worse they get.
Right, because you don't really read the fine print of contracts very
No,
often.
of course not.
I don't think anybody does.
No, but
Yeah.
it seems like it could have some pretty bad consequences if you don't, though.
I know you really should from now on. Now all those EULAs I agree to.
Yeah, gotta scroll all the way to the bottom, folks.
All the way, just scroll at the very least.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually
Yeah,
read
you'll
it.
absorb it all.
Yeah, right. And then your soul will be absorbed into the 9 hells.
Exactly.
Nothing weird about that.
Not at all.
Yeah, you're fueling the stories for all of your fellow D&D players to come and save you. I like that.
I love it.
All right, so we're going to go now to our interview with Wolfgang Bauer from Kobold Press and Anna B. Meyer. It was me and Shelley. You will not hear the vocal stylings of Pelham Green in this interview, but he is in the background pushing some buttons.
I was indeed in the room.
You were in the room when it happened.
When it happened.
So make sure you listen to Pelham's laughter in the room when this interview happened.
And listen to Hamilton.
I think we probably lost Twitch chat at this point. They're like, what are these jokers doing?
They're still hanging out, actually.
No, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Hi. Just kidding.
Thanks for watching this.
Thanks for continuing to watch our, our flubs. Please,
Really just Greg's flubs.
No one.
I haven't made a flub.
Still recording, guys.
Still recording. Even good baseball players only succeed 30% of the time. Pelham.
Ryan, what are we batting?
Like 1 out of 10.
Bad with baseball, still recording, guys.
You're like, this baseball analogy is dying. That was such a fun interview. I really love maps, and I want more maps in my life. And the way she was just talking about being able to just get all those, and the layers of content and information within them. It was like, man, I want that in my fantasy realm now, and get started making it. Anna,
so much thought into those. Yeah,
I know, right?
Love to see more.
The amount of hours that she said she put into it was just like flabbergasting. Is that a word?
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Sounds real enough.
Are you? I just got flabbergasted. Right, no, that actually is how you.
That
use
is a
it.
word.
Yeah, but gasting.
Gasting.
It's
The
flabbergasting.
action of flabbergasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
To flabbergast.
We're gonna conjugate this.
Yeah, let's conjugate
in the
flabbergast.
meantime. Pelham, what else should we make sure people know about before we sign off here? Anything important going on?
There's lots of important stuff going on. We've got some announcements coming out, in the future here. So stay tuned. There's some exciting stuff coming up later on this year, but we're not going to tell you what yet.
Oh gosh, you've gotten really good at that. At the hinting at things to come without actually
I've been listening
telling.
to the master.
Exactly, which is Nathan B. Stewart.
I was going to say Greg Tito. Keep that selling yourself.
He's a spoiler. He lets it all out. That's actually true. He doesn't hint. He just spoils. But you guys can check out lots of fun stuff, including a D&D T-shirt is now going to be on sale until July 2nd. Which now I'm checking to make sure that this doesn't air before then, but it might. So never mind. You can't get it anymore. So we're just going to cut that right out.
You missed out, podcast.
You missed out. You terrible people. No, you should check out Dragon Plus, which its issue is out. Now it is available on your device, whether it's Android or iOS, or you can check it all out on the web at dragonmag.com. And there are tons of previews for Waterdeep Dragon Heist, as well as Dungeon of the Mad Mage, interviews from folks from the Stream of Many Eyes, and a preview of the Adventure Zone graphic novel, Here There Be Gerblins. Gerblins. And on top of that, Griffin McElroy, the Dungeon Master from the Adventure Zone, wrote up an adventure module that you can play starring all of the fun cast of the Adventure Zone, including their character sheets. And you can get that all in Dragon Plus right now. It is super fun, including a comic that is hilarious by Jason Thomas on the Yugoloths from Mordenkainen and Tome of Foes. So we do those issues every 2 months. This one is out now, as I said, and we'll be coming out with another one in July, which will have tons of more content coming your way. You can get all that at dragonmag.com on the web, or on your device under Dragon Plus. You can search for it in your Google Play Store or on iTunes. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know about it, except that you should be downloading it right now.
It's true. True facts.
Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, did we talk about how that's a bestseller everywhere?
I don't think we've talked about that
It's
yet.
a bestseller, probably not anymore when you're actually listening to it, but it was when it came out on the week of May 28th. Number 1 on the Publishers Weekly nonfiction list. Number 1 on the Wall Street Journal nonfiction list. Nonfiction, because it is.
It's all real.
It's all real. It's all real. And then it was number 8 on the USA Today All Books list, which puts together fiction and nonfiction. So that's good stuff. Really, really impressed with how many people are enjoying Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I've heard nothing but good things anecdotally, but it's always great to get this kind of feedback from folks who are buying it up, and I can't wait to integrate it into their stuff. So good stuff. Do you have a copy of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes?
I do.
Have you been using it in your game?
Haven't pulled any monsters out of it yet, but yeah, I'm excited to get some of those nasty beasties killing some players.
And you should create a contract with your players.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah. And then apparently there's so many fun stuff that you can get there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have to bring in that Marut.
Cool. If people want to get in touch with you, Pelham Green, how can they do that?
They can find me on the Twitters. I am at Pelham Green, PELHAMGREENE.
Excellent.
How about you?
I am at Greg Tito. I'm also on the Twitter, and then you can also find me on Instagram. I'm at Greg_Tito there. Post a lot about D&D, but also just fun, kid stuff. So get used to that if you follow me on the Instagrams. And I think that's everything that's coming out down the pipe here for D&D. So let's. You want to close this out?
Let's close this out.
Yeah. Do you want to do the catchphrase?
Yeah, but there are no rocks to fall.
Here, you can knock this over
All right.
instead.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Ah! Thank you, everyone on the Twitch. You are good people for sticking around and watching all this fun thing happen. Elven Wizard King, you've been here the whole time, and you are a good person. I feel like I met you. Did I meet you, Elven Wizard King? I think I met you at the Origins, right? Was that you? Pretty sure that was you. As well. Oh, yeah, and Polytechnics, you were there too. Good stuff. You are all good people. We have some fun stuff going on Twitch. Tonight, Dark and Dicey is happening at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then tomorrow we got our full slate of in-studio shows, including Mike Merle's Happy Fun Hour starting at 1 p.m. At 2 p.m. we got Dragon Plus. I believe they're talking about Idle Champions tomorrow. That is the plan.
Right. We're going to talk to Dylan Wilkes and Scott Kurtz.
And maybe Clive Gorman and John File, I believe, are also going to be in there too.
Good to know.
So really, really good stuff. Talking about including Scott Kurtz's bin win in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can get his champion now, I believe. So that should be fun, and you'll find out more about that on Dragon Plus tomorrow. I'll be back for D&D news leading up until the next episode of Dice Camera Action, which may or may not include a Marut.
It does include a Travis McElroy, though.
It does include
returning
a
his Magnus Burnsides
That's
to
right.
ChairCon. So that is happening.
That is good stuff. I'm so glad he's returning. He was on the last session of Dice Camera Action at the Stream of Many Eyes on Sunday, that finalist episode. You can watch that. It is on the YouTube channel right now. Go ahead and make it happen, and then you'll be all learned up for when he returns. I hope it's like a long guest appearance that he goes on.
I mean, at the end of that session at the Stream of Many Eyes, the last thing that happens in that is just him saying, "Am I in this show now?"
Aw.
Just okay.
I missed that part of it.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. You're in it to win it.
We
Good
made
stuff.
a contract with the Planar Beings.
You guys are all awesome. Oh, you were at the airport. That's where I saw you, Elven Wizard King. That's right. And yeah, right. And we hung out down there too. Good stuff. Well, thank you everyone who is paying attention. I love you, and we will see you on the Twitch all this week going forward.
You're amazing people.
Thanks a lot.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you to Pelham. Thank you, Pelham, for being my impromptu guest for these intros and outros. Good stuff. All right, signing off, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Rob.